All right, the purpose of today is to video the usher's duties, basically. And we're going to start with just a general overview of the church, the narthex, and the fellowship hall area. And Debbie Hubble has very kindly agreed to do this. This is what we refer to as the Browns Road door, and this also, behind me, is a ground level entrance for people that have trouble walking or in wheelchairs and like that. And then the stairs that go up to Fellowship Hall are right here, and there is a ramp that can be put down on those stairs. It's this aluminum thing here on the right. That's a little bit difficult to put down. Luckily, we don't have a call for it very much, but there are people in the church that know how to do it, and I know how to do it, so you can do that too, I'm sure. Now we'll go up here. Well, we don't have to go up here. The restrooms are right there, and that's probably all that any parishioner would be asking you for. Back out in the narthex, and this is where we're going to start. I'm using this list, which you all have. It includes the name and phone number of all the ushers, plus 3 substitutes that are willing to fill in on an occasional basis. The goal of this is that you, the usher assigned for that month, is responsible for that month. That doesn't mean you have to be the one that's there every single week. You can seek out a substitute, and this list shows you who is available when and when they're not available. Let's see. For special services, those are listed in here, and the special services could be increased, I suppose. Either myself or Ann or somebody will be calling around, sending an email blast to seek somebody to fill in for those things. The most difficult thing is funerals, believe it or not. Oftentimes they occur in the middle of the week, and it's a little bit difficult for some people to get there, but we do the best we can. They're often short notice. All right, now to the duties, and those are at the bottom of this list. The first thing is unlocking the church doors, which is a euphemistic term because it's not a key. Over here on the end of this coat rack, there are hanging 2 Allen screws, and there are some more up top here. And the way this works is you're basically unscrewing a block in there. So you hold down on this handle, and you just, it goes backwards. You tighten it in, and that holds the latch in the unlocked position. And when you relock the doors, you undo that Allen wrench, and the tag comes out, and it's the same for both doors. Number 2 on the list is setting up the hymn boards, and there's one on each side. And what that means is putting in the numbers of the hymns. And the numbers are kept in a little box underneath the cushion here, and they always have been, ever since I was a little child. I don't know why they're under the cushion, but that's where they are. And you take the program for the day, and all of the hymn numbers are listed in here. You have to check it kind of carefully, because, or at least I do, because sometimes I overlook them. But then the numbers just slide into these little catchments here. So you take out the old numbers and put in the new numbers, and then return the unused numbers to the slots in the box. Go. Number 3 is to turn on the lights. Pretty simple. The first switch is the choir loft. Second switch are the lights up over the front of the church, and then the rest of them are for the chandeliers. And the chandeliers can be lit halfway or all the way, depending on whether both switches for them are flicked or not. There's one more, and that's the one that's up over the pulpit, and the switch for that is in the wall, right behind the pulpit. The next thing is turning on the fans if needed, and that's kind of a judgment call. In the summertime, they're always needed. In the wintertime, it kind of depends on whether it's really cold in the church or not. If it's cold, the fans will bring the pooled warm air down from the ceiling. Now you'll notice that this one right up over my head is running all the time on the slow speed. And the reason for that is that on the wall right beside the door is the thermostat. And we had a energy audit a few years ago, and they suggested we keep this fan on so that it would bring some of the warm air cooled up top down near the thermostat, and the furnace wouldn't be trying to keep the ceiling too warm all the time. Okay, now we'll go upstairs to the fan switches. The switches for the 3 fans are right here on the wall up in the choir loft. Now, the one by the thermostat is always running, and then there's 2 more. Now, these switches are counterintuitive. That is, number 4 is the slowest speed, number 1 is the fastest speed, and they just turn to make the fan go. Now we're going to jump to the sound system just because we're up here. Debbie has provided a very good list of instructions on operating the sound system, and it's pretty straightforward, at least I can understand it. There's things like the power on buttons for all of them, including the one that I missed this morning, which is this thing here, which is for the headsets. But you just push the button to turn them on. Some of them give you a indication that they're on right away. Some of them you have to hold down to get that. And this one here, we don't use this, do we? No. So we have, this one is there it goes. Yep. It's on. And then these 2 up here.
Those are the hold until they come on.
Yeah, these are the ones that you hold down until it comes on. So you have to kind of play with it a little bit. But the digital recorder, I don't know how much we use this actually, but it's got a switch right on the side of it here, and you turn that on. And I guess
what happens with that is we turn it on, the power on, and then Eric, the organist, hits the record button right as he's ready to start the chimes, and we record each service.
Oh, okay. So our job then is to just turn it on.
Correct.
Okay. One of the duties on the list is to ring the bell. We're up here, so I'm going to take that out of order too. This rope goes up to a big bell up in the belfry. If anybody wants to see it sometime, I'll take you up. But the way you do this, the proper way to ring the bell, in my humble opinion, is to make it ding as loud as possible. And you don't have to worry about the bell flopping over. That has never happened in 200 years. So you get up as high as you can, and you get it going. And then you just keep it going. And momentum actually does most of the work for you. And then when you're done, you go about 10 or 15 rings. Then when you're done, you grab it and stop it. You don't want to hear the thing tapering off. Bong, bong, bong. That's the George Bailey definition of the proper way to ring the bell.